Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, what does that actually mean for your car? Well, your engine is designed to run most efficiently at a certain temperature, typically around 195 to 220 degrees Fahrenheit. If it runs too cool, you might notice a few things. First, your fuel economy could take a nosedive. An engine that's not fully warmed up will burn more fuel. Second, your heater might not blow hot air, which is definitely not fun on a cold morning. And over time, running too cool can lead to increased engine wear and even damage to your catalytic converter because of the richer fuel mixture. That's why the check engine light comes on needs. Your car's way of saying, hey, something's not right here. Let's get it checked out. The most common culprit behind a P0128 code is the thermostat. What's a thermostat? Think of it as a gatekeeper for your engine's coolant. It's a small, spring-loaded valve that stays closed when the engine is cold, allowing the coolant inside the engine block to warm up quickly. Once the coolant reaches a set temperature, the thermostat opens up, letting hot coolant flow to the radiator to be cooled down. This cycle keeps your engine's temperature perfectly regulated. The problem arises when the thermostat gets stuck in the open position. When this happens, coolant is constantly flowing to the radiator, even when the engine is cold. As a result, the engine never gets the chance to reach its optimal operating temperature, especially during short trips or in colder weather. This is exactly what the P0128 code is designed to detect. Now, let's talk about how to confirm the diagnosis. The first step is to check your coolant level. A low coolant level can also cause temperature regulation issues, so pop the hood and make sure your coolant reservoir is filled to the proper level. If the coolant is low, top it up, clear the code, and see if it comes back. If the level is fine, the next step is to look at the live data from your coolant temperature sensor using an OBD2 scanner. Start the car from cold and watch the temperature reading. You should see it steadily climb as the engine warms up. A healthy system will see the temperature rise to around 190 degrees or more. If you drive the car and the temperature struggles to get past, say, 160 or 170 degrees, especially on the highway, that's a huge clue that your thermostat is stuck open. Another classic test is to feel the upper radiator hose shortly after starting the cold engine. If it starts getting warm right away, that means coolant is flowing to the radiator, and your thermostat is indeed open when it should be closed. So you've confirmed it's the thermostat. What's next? The fix is to replace it. This is a job that many DIers can handle with some basic tools. First, you need to locate the thermostat housing. On most Toyotas, you'll find it where the upper radiator hose connects to the engine block. Before you start, make sure the engine is completely cool. Hot coolant can cause serious burns. ULL need to drain some of the coolant from the radiator into a clean drain pan so it doesn't spill everywhere when you remove the housing. Once the coolant is drained, you can unbolt the thermostat housing. It's usually held on by 2 or 3 bolts. When you pull the housing off, the old thermostat will be right there. Pay attention to its orientation before you pull it out. ULL also see a gasket or a rubber sealant. Crucial to replace this along with the thermostat to prevent leaks. Clean both mating surfaces of the housing and the engine block to ensure a good seal. Now, install the new thermostat, making sure it's facing the right direction. There's usually a small jiggle valve or bleed pin on it, which should be positioned at the top to help air escape the system. Place the new gasket on, bolt the housing back on, and torque the bolts to the manufacturer's specification. Don't over-tighten them. After everything is back together, it's time to refill the cooling system. Use the correct type of coolant for your Toyota, usually the pink or red long-life coolant. Slowly pour the coolant back into the radiator. It is a good idea to use a spill-free funnel to make this process easier and to help burp the air out of the system. Once it's full, start the engine with the heater on full blast and let it run. You'll see air bubbles coming up through the funnel as the system bleeds itself. Keep an eye on the temperature gauge and keep topping off the coolant until the level stabilizes and no more bubbles appear. Once the engine reaches operating temperature, the thermostat will open, and you might see the coolant level drop. Suddenly just top it off again. Let the car cool down completely, and then double-check the coolant level in the reservoir, adding more if needed. Finally, clear the P0128 code with your scanner, and take the car for a drive. Monitor your temperature gauge to ensure it's now reaching and maintaining the proper temperature. And that's it. You've successfully diagnosed and fixed the P0128 code. It's a satisfying repair that saves you money and ensures your engine is running happily and efficiently. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more car repair guides. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.